Hi, I am Maria Chiara Scuderi, and I'm a PhD researcher at the University of Leicester and the curator of the exhibition Dryad Basketry, a global collection. So the basketry and baskets here on display are part of the larger Dryad Handicraft collection, which is part of Leicester Museum and Art Gallery since 1969. All the objects were collected by Harry Peach, who was a business person interested in craft practice education, and he was based in Leicester. All the objects were collected between 1918 and 1936. The handicraft collection is very diverse in manufacture and global in scope, ranging from basketry to textiles, wooden objects, leather work, beadwork, and it really comes from all over the world. There are samples from ex-British colonies in different parts of Africa, in East Asia and South Asia. They come from also the Indian and Pacific Oceans, but there are also connections with other European and non-European imperial contexts. We have some objects, for example, from Madagascar, some raffia mats from Madagascar, which in the early 20th century was part of the French Empire. We have here on display one small beautiful basket with lid from Abyssinia. It was purchased in 1927 from Abyssinia, which at that time was part of the Ethiopian Empire and later on would become part of the Italian Empire. So there are different contexts, and there are also many objects from Germany, the Balkans, Russia, and a few baskets from Arizona and South America. So I believe this is one of the most interesting parts of the Dryad collection. This global perspective is quite unique to find in a collection gathered by one person only. Highlights two main points related to the Dryad Handicraft collection. The first one is about why the collection was gathered. So we will see a pedagogical scope within this global project. The second part is about how the object traveled from different parts of the world to Leicester. And we will see that Harry Peach, despite he was based in Leicester, he had an important network of relationships. He was in touch with different imperial and non-imperial agents that allowed the circulation of this material culture from different parts of the world to Leicester. So, as far as the craft practice educational scope of the collection, Harry Peach in 1907 established the Dryad Furniture Workshop in 42 St. Nicholas Street in Leicester to produce cane material, cane furniture, and to sell them here in Leicester. This business was quite successful, but at the beginning of the First World War, the business experienced a decrease, and so Harry Peach donated on a voluntary level some cane unused material to the local Northern Fifth General Hospital of Leicester for craft practice education with wounded soldiers. So wounded soldiers were engaged in occupational therapy for rehabilitation in basket making, because there was the belief that basket making could allow rehabilitation to disabled people, and generally the materiality of the basket, the repetition of the movement in basket making was considered quite meditative. This activity was very successful, and Harry Peach decided to turn this voluntary activity into a proper business, and so he opened the Dryad Handicraft wing in his showroom to sell cane and other craft material for craft practice education at schools. And the showroom was very much in touch also with the local School of Art in Leicester. And this was the moment where Harry Peach decided to gather from the world the Dryad Handicraft collection, so to put this object of different techniques, different craft on display in the showroom in Leicester and to inspire local makers. So you can see this great connection between global collecting and local production, local aspiration in craft practice. The second point important for the exhibition is the international circulation of the object. So Harry Peach, he was in touch with colonial administrators, Christian missionaries, dealers, educators, all people generally interested in the anthropological part of craft and the emerging science of anthropology and in ethnography. Something that really surprised me in this research was to see how Harry Peach was involved in the missionary enterprise. So many objects in the Dryad Handicraft collection come from missionary exhibitions, especially objects from different parts of Africa. So missionary exhibitions were very complex events where the intertwining between politics, cultural practices, religion, all these factors were at the core of missionary exhibitions. Those were events organized by different missionary societies with a propaganda scope related to the empire, and missionaries could put on display objects from different mission fields. Some of them were also available for sale. And so missionary exhibitions were kind of windows to the world where people could travel without really move far away from their place, and were also events where private individuals, generally interested in ethnography, such as Harry Peach, they could build their own private collections without really traveling. So they were really spaces to know the world through craft material, and I believe that this important network of relationships is significant to understand the history of Leicester and to position Leicester within its global and colonial context, looking at beautiful baskets and basketry material in the collection. So thanks for watching. I hope you have the chance to come to see the exhibition Dryad Basketry, a Global Collection.